Heard you guys say. Okay, on section 5.3, here's what we're going to do. We're going to add, subtract, and multiply polynomials together. How many times have you done that before? A lot. So, when it gives you something like this, the question's going to say something like t squared minus 6t plus 2 plus sign 5t squared minus t minus 8.
Can we switch the t's?
Now, for this, most of you will screw this up just one time or another, and that is that you'll try to multiply this out. Is it asking you to multiply it? No. All you got to do is combine like terms. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my t squareds together. What's 1t squared plus 5t squared? 6t squared. Remember, you do not add the exponents, you just add the coefficients in front. Or subtract them if you have to. What's negative 6t plus negative 1t? Negative 7t. And what's 2 plus negative 8? Negative 6. And done.
That's it.
Now, what if there was one thing that didn't have any friends and couldn't add or subtract with something? Do you just write it down? Yeah. What if I were to change that sign in between to be a minus instead of an add? Then I subtract it. Okay? So, t squared minus 6t plus 2 minus 5t squared minus t minus 8. Same problem, just I changed the symbol in between it. Do I do the same concept? Yeah. What's t squared minus 5t squared?
Negative 4t squared.
Negative 4t squared. Careful with your signs. What's negative 6t minus negative 1t? How'd you get negative 5?
Minus in front of the t turns into positive.
Yep, these two right here work together to make it a positive. So I'd have negative 5t. And what is 2 minus negative 8? 10. Is adding and subtracting okay? This is solved. There's no equal sign. So there's no, you're not going to be solving for t or anything like that. There's no equal sign on this, Maddie, so no. How do you think adding and subtracting are going to go? Sometimes they might put them vertically, which means instead of this as being horizontally, they might put them right on top of each other, and then you just add or subtract straight down. So what do you think so far?
Easy.
Not too shabby? Okay. Now the other thing. What if I go like this and give you what am I asking you to do here? Multiply. Right. How'd you know that, Alyssa? They were just right next to each other. There's no sign in between it, right? Good job. So proud of you. All right. So when you're multiplying, remember you go left to right. Okay, do not just go all the way into everything, just left to right. What technique do we call it when we multiply those two things like that together? FOIL, right? So, first, what's x times x? What's x times 1? 1x. What's negative 5 times x? And what's negative 5 times 1? Now, I want to show something to you guys because eventually I'm going to give you one that's a little bit longer than this one. I'm just going to explain that. When I give you longer than this, a lot of times what happens is a lot of people just go horizontally with it and they just go in one big straight line. When I'm multiplying, a lot of times what I like to do is I like to put the like terms underneath each other so that way I can add straight down. So if you look at this when I'm going straight down here, x squared didn't have any friends. So therefore, I would go straight down with my x squared. Then these two would add together. What's 1 minus 5? Negative 4 minus 5. And then I multiply it by the last group. Okay? Now, when I give you one here in just a second where we have multiple things, like we have a lot bigger, then that's where the vertical might help you out. And all I do is just put it underneath like terms, just so that way I can keep them all together. It's a way of organizing it. Do you have to do it that way? No. You can put it in a straight line if you want, and then combine like terms after that. That's not a problem. But it's a way that I use that I kind of keep my stuff organized. Okay? So like it or not, doesn't matter if you use it or not. What's x squared times x? What's x squared times 3?
2x squared.
What's negative 4x times x? Negative 4x squared. Do you want me to put it underneath the other one, or do you want me to just keep going in one straight line? Underneath? What's negative 4x times 3? What's negative 5 times x? Okay, now I'm running out of room. I can't go any further lower. And what's negative 5 times 3? Now I'm combining like terms. I got x to the third. I got 3 minus 4. Yes, negative 1. Do you need to write the 1 in front of it? No, but you can if you want. What's negative 12 minus 5? Negative 17, x, and then the negative 15 didn't have any friends, so you just write it down. Done. What do you think about the multiplying part? Easy? Good. What if they look like this? What do you do? If it would have said w minus 9 squared. So many people get this wrong, so I want to make sure you guys know what to do. Okay, Julia suggested write it out twice. I agree with her. That's what I do on mine too. There is a special formula that you can also do if you would like to. However, most people screw it up, including myself. So what I do is exactly what she suggested. I write it out twice and I FOIL it. What if it would have had something to the third? I would have wrote it out 3 times. What if I would have had an x, if it would have been 4? Or 8? Yeah. Then when it gets that high, then we're going to use some other techniques that actually make us go a little bit quicker. Like Pascal's triangle or the binomial expansion theorem. But you'll get to that later. Okay? So, when I FOIL this out, what do I get? Minus 18w plus 81. Okay, are you guys capable of multiplying? We multiplied everything out, and then Mr. Lundy already connected the 2 middle ones, Madison, to get the negative 18. Because you had negative 9w and negative 9w. They don't cancel each other out. Negative 9 makes negative 18. Okay? Are you guys okay with this? Keep in mind the sign in between it. If it says plus, you add things. If it says minus, you subtract. And if it doesn't have a symbol, you multiply. And that, though, is a big problem because a lot of people screw it up because they accidentally multiply everything rather than adding and subtracting when you need to. Okay? That might have been one of the fastest ones we've ever done. So we're on page 349 to 350.